Morning, everybody. Well, my congratulations on being here. Improving park finance through tourism. I have to summarize the international literature in 10 minutes, 20 minutes. We'll see what we can do. 2 weeks ago in Barcelona at the World Conservation Congress, this graph was released. It's the United Nations list of parks and protected areas. You'll see that the world's protected areas now cover 12% of the Earth's surface. Now that was, and typically is, described as being very positive. And it is, lots of new protected areas. Here's the problem. The money to manage that has not kept up with the creation of new land. So every time a new park is created, usually the money is taken away from the existing parks to manage it. So we have a fairly large gap between demand and need in order to finance. I want to give you a whole series of slides that we'll go through fairly quickly. Here is Costa Rica National Park visitation over time. This is fairly typical in many countries. Nature-based tourism is very important in Costa Rica. And it's a positive story, except for one thing. Reading there recently, and the infrastructure of the parks are declining. It turns out that a substantial amount of the income that comes into the parks is not spent in the parks. Now, what are good people going to see? Well, all kinds of fabulous natural resources in Costa Rica. Wonderful country. Here's a U.S. National Park visitation. Now, what you want to deal with here are largely the recreation visits, and I want you to notice something. And it peaked in the United States in 1987, and if you put this on a per capita basis, it's declining since 1987. It turns out in both the U.S. and Japan, two major park systems, they've had a per capita decline since 1987. Over the last 50 years, we've seen a major expansion in the world's park and protected areas. Much more land to manage. Many park systems saw an increase, so I gave you an example of that. Therefore, generally, there are more people to manage. However, the budgets have not increased, and virtually every park system in the world is underfunded. And that's one of the reasons that I spend so much time on this. This one has to be dealt with. Now, we've got three options for funding parks.